This video is for current 7th grade students at Canyon Ridge Middle School who will be transitioning into the 8th grade for the 2013-2014 school year. Counselors will go into classrooms on March 25th and March 26th and walk students through the choice sheet and Texas MyZone registration process. Students will then take their choice sheet copy home to their parents. The parents are then asked to review the selections and make any necessary changes on the choice sheet, and then go online to the Texas MyZone website and register for their classes. That is an important step, so please make sure you go online and help your students register for their classes. If you need any assistance, please contact the Canyon Ridge Counseling Office. And this is what our choice sheet looks like for students going into the 8th grade. Section A are what we call your required core classes. The first thing you'll notice is that really there's only one selection here that we're asking students to make. That is whether they're going to sign up for 8th grade language arts or pre-AP language arts. Now the difference between these two classes can be seen at our Canyon Ridge Counseling website. There's information under advanced courses. Pre-AP language arts is right there. Additionally, there's information in the course catalog and transition link, and there's information posted here. I think it's the that's advanced theater arts. We are talking about pre-AP language arts, and that's the same information there. So if you're interested in pre-AP language arts, that might be a good spot for you to go to read about. If you're not interested in pre-AP language arts, students will select regular language arts. Now this little note over here talks about how students will be pre-enrolled in their classes on Texas MyZone. For instance, all students will be enrolled into science and social studies classes already on the Texas MyZone. Students don't need to choose anything there. As far as the math course goes, we'll use whatever course they're in right now in the 7th grade, and we'll automatically enroll them into the next grade level math. So for instance, if they're in 7th grade on-level math, they'll automatically roll into 8th grade on-level math. 7th grade PACE will automatically roll into Algebra 1, and then for those students who are in 7th grade taking Algebra 1, they will automatically enroll into Geometry. Any students interested in acceleration over the summer, we will go ahead and change your student schedule and accelerate them once we receive those testing results and they qualify for that acceleration. Another note here is that students who are in Quest, which is Leander ISD's Gifted and Talented program, must sign up for pre-AP language arts. That's one of the requirements for Quest students in the 8th grade. So when you go onto the Texas MyZone website, please confirm that your student is enrolled in the appropriate math class, they're enrolled in science and social studies, and then select either language arts or pre-AP language arts. We then move down to the Section B section, what we call our required non-core classes. These classes consist of the following 4 courses: Quest, Apps, Gateway, and Avid. Basically, students can be enrolled in one out of these courses in this section. Okay? So if your student is currently in 7th grade and they're taking the Apps course, they're automatically going to enroll up into the 8th grade Apps course. So when you go into Texas MyZone, you should see that placement. Students who are in the 7th grade and are in the Quest course will automatically roll up into the 8th grade Quest course. So you should see that as well. Students who are in Avid in the 7th grade will again automatically roll up into Avid in the 8th grade. And Gateway is a new addition, so there will not be any students who are currently in 7th grade enrolled in Gateway, and we'll talk about Gateway in a second. So let's go back to Quest. Let's say that you are a student and you are not currently in Quest, which is Leander ISD's Gifted and Talented program, and you're interested in enrolling in Quest. There are summer testing dates. What you will do is you will go to one of those summer testing dates, and when you qualify for the class, we will then change you out of, let's say you're in the Apps course, we'll change you out of the Apps course and place you into the Quest course. Let's say that you are currently in the Quest class and you're rolled up into 8th grade Quest and you don't want to be in Quest anymore. Instead, you would rather furlough and take the Apps course, or you would rather furlough and maybe take the Gateway course, for instance. That is a possibility. However, that process, since it is a change of placement and you are identified as gifted and talented, it'll be important for you to first, before you make that change or decide on making a change, contact Kathy Wood before you go through the furlough process. So her information is there as well. If you are currently a student in the 7th grade and you're interested in enrolling in Avid in the 8th grade, Avid is an application process, so we're asking that you again come over to the Canyon Ridge website. We're over here At the counseling website, we're going to click on course catalog and transition. Then we're going to come down here, and there's information about Avid here. So you can learn about what Avid is, and there's also a link here for the Avid application. So you will need to have your Leander ISD Google account to be able to sign into that, to fill out that application. Again, if you're currently a student in 7th grade in Avid, we're automatically going to roll you up into Avid in the 8th grade. If you no longer want to take Avid and instead want to go back to the apps course, or instead maybe you want to apply for the Gateway course, you can do that. You just need to write Ms. Zapata a letter and copy your counselor on it so we know to make that change. As far as Gateway is concerned, Gateway is a class that's an engineering course. It'll be brand new for our 7th graders. We'll have 3 sections in the 7th grade this year and 3 sections in the 8th grade. So if you're currently a 7th grader and you're wanting to enroll in the Gateway class, that is also an application process. So again, we come back over here to our Canyon Ridge website and we click on the Gateway course. We can read about the course and we can read about how to apply for the course by clicking on that application there. Again, students can only enroll in one of these courses. So that means if they're rolled up into apps and want to stay there, they're good. If they're rolled up into Quest and want to stay there, they're good. If they're rolled up into Avid and they want to stay there, that's good. But if they want to change of placement, they're going to, let's say they're in Avid, they'll have to write their teacher a letter to say they want to be out of Avid. If they are in Quest and want to get out of Quest, and in order to do one of these other 3 choices, they'll have to talk to Kathy Wood and understand what that decision implies. So when you go onto the Texas MyZone website, you should probably see that your student is rolling up into apps, rolling up into Quest, or rolling up into Avid. No students will be rolling up into Gateway because no 7th graders were in it, and it's a new course for 8th graders. So if you're interested in being in the class that you've rolled up into, you don't need to do anything. And if you'd like to make a change, you just need to follow the procedure that applies to you and then go through the application process if that class requires one. We then come down to Section C. Remember, students in 8th grade have 2 elective choices, and I really mean 2 elective choices. In the 6th grade they had 2, but one of them was spent in PE. In the 7th grade they had 2, but one of them was spent in PE. In the 8th grade, that PE requirement is complete. So if students want to choose something from Section C and spend one of their electives in Section C, it is completely up to them. They no longer are required to fulfill that requirement. They've already done that in 6th and 7th grade. So if you would like your student to sign up for a Section C course, or they would like to sign up for a Section C course, which is our PE equivalents, they may do so. A lot of these classes have a prerequisite. So again, we're going to pull over our Canyon Ridge website here. We're going to come over here to, let's say, boys physical activities. It gives you information there. Remember, if you sign up for athletics in the 8th grade, you're saying you want to play football. The girls' physical activities, there's details about girls' athletics, there's details about drill, and there's details about cheer there as well. So it'll be important for you to find out what those prerequisites are and make sure that you're eligible for those classes. If you choose one from Section C, that means you have 1 elective choice left. If you do not, it means you have 2 elective choices left. So how you spend those elective choices will be up to you. As you can see, we can come down to Section D here. These are our full year electives, so if you choose to take 1 or 2 of these full year electives, depending on how many you have left, that's up to you. In other words, if you choose athletics up here and then choose Spanish over here, you're done. You've spent both of your elective choices. However, if you do not choose anything from Section C, and let's say you take Spanish here, you still have 1 more elective choice available. You could choose another year-long elective, or instead you could choose 2 semester-long electives. So this is completely up to you how you want to spend your 2 electives in this area. Whatever combination works for you would be just fine. In other words, 1 year-long elective and 2 semesters, 2 year-long electives, 4 semester-long electives. Any one of those combinations work. In these full year electives, again, it's important to realize that some of these have some prerequisites. So and information which will be posted on the course catalog, which is on our Canyon Ridge site as well. Please make sure you understand that the year-long electives, we ask students to honor their year-long commitments. Spanish is a course that's a high school credit course. It is difficult, so if you sign up for it, you're knowing you're committing to a high school level course, and that high school level course will affect student eligibility for UIL events. So if you sign up for that course and you find that you're not doing well, we're still going to ask you to stick that course out. So please make sure you make these decisions wisely. Also, the semester-long courses, Once students sign up for these courses, we're going to do our best to staff and create our master schedule in a way that gives them their first choice. So when semester comes, we will not be looking to make any changes. So if a student signs up for art and computer apps, and they take art this first semester, and second semester computer apps comes up, and they say, "Oh, I don't want to take that anymore," we're gonna be empathetic, but we're gonna obviously say, "We're sorry, that's what you chose, and we made your schedule around that choice." That being said, there are times when we can't offer students the combination of semester-long electives that they specifically want. We're always stricken by our staffing and our class sizes and our numbers, so sometimes it doesn't work out. We do our very best to make sure that you get your first choice, but if it doesn't work out, we'll look to put you in a backup elective as well. So that is, again, the 8th grade choice sheet for students entering the 8th grade at Canyon Ridge. What your parents will do with you, students, is they will go ahead and help you fill this out completely, or review your selections from when the counselors were with you, make any necessary changes on your copy. They'll sign it, they'll return it to your AppsQuest or AvidTeacher by this Friday, March 29th, and they'll date it. And the most important part of the process, again, is that they've gone online and actually chosen your courses on the Texas MyZone website. If you need help with the Texas MyZone website, there is another video tutorial that can help you walk you through that process. Thank you very much.